guys, welcome back to the channel, and yes, that's correct, we are going to discuss Kim Kardashian becoming a lawyer. So last week Kim announced that she was actually going to take the Californian bar exam without actually going to law school. So now this method is basically described as reading the law, and this was a traditional route taken by lawyers in the States, in America, before the advent of law school. Normally to become a lawyer, like even in England and even in the States, you have to attend law school, do a 3-year degree, law degree, and then you take a exam. So in the States it's called the bar exam, and it's classified as one of the most difficult exams to take. I mean, it's difficult in England, but in the States it's classified as the most difficult exam to actually sit and take. Now, and also in the States you have different exams for different states. So even if she was to qualify in California, that will not entitle her to practice, let's say, in all the different states. So studying law is difficult, we know this, but without even going to law school, I mean, that's just, I couldn't even imagine it. So for someone like Kim Kardashian to actually decide to take the bar exam, which I think she's planning to take in 2020, and to do that without actually attending an official law school itself, I think that's commendable itself. I suppose like the most next best question would be, so what actually made Kim decide to become a lawyer? So from what I understand, what actually made Kim decide to actually become a lawyer was the current case that she actually worked with, and it was a lady called Alice Marie Johnson, and she was actually sentenced for life imprisonment. She was actually sentenced to life sentence for a non-violent drug crime. So let me just repeat, non-violent drug crime. So once Kim actually got a hold of this information, she said she tweeted it first, and then she started to actually look further into this case. She then contacted her own personal lawyer, and via meetings and discussions, she ended up in the White House, and she had a meeting with the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and because that was the only person that would be able to have this woman released. Legally, it's called clemency. So in June 2018, Anna Marie Johnson was granted clemency because of Kim Kardashian and her fight and her campaign to have this woman released. I think that's amazing. I mean, can you imagine this woman would have been in prison for the rest of her life if someone with Kim's stature hadn't have noticed? Makes you think, doesn't it? And you have to think this woman had been in prison since 1996, and she was released in 2018. I mean, that's a good few years of her life that she had already spent in prison for a non-violent drug crime. She was then obviously interviewed after the release of Anna Marie Johnson, and I'm going to quote what she said. She said, "I want to be able to fight for people who have paid their dues to society. I just felt like the system could be so different, and I wanted to fight to fix it. And if I knew more, I could do more." And that hits home because in order for us to help each other, we need to educate ourselves. So for a woman of her stature, and I mean, she's a billionaire, she doesn't really need to study law, she doesn't really need to become a lawyer, but for her to even have that thought and that inspiration and that drive to become that person to help others, I think is just amazing. So for her to even pick law as a career, as a choice, I just think that is amazing. Law is a very difficult subject to study. I studied it, I mean, obviously I've done my degree in law, and obviously I've studied my LPC and Masters, which I hated. And so I know how difficult it is. It takes a lot of strength, it takes a lot of stamina, it takes a lot of reading, it takes a lot of late nights, early mornings, dedication, and you know, sometimes it can actually just, I remember finishing my degree and I just felt, drained is not even the word, but it takes a lot for you to complete this degree. But I was fortunate. I had like the teachers, and then you have your student friends around you who are in the same boat. But she's actually doing her studying at home. So for her to actually read the law is going to be a lot more difficult. So in summary, I just want to say, wow, I think that is amazing that she's made the decision to actually help others out there. She's got the status, she has the power, she has the reach, she has the contacts to be able to help people that perhaps and be noticed. And she has the connections, and she has the stage, let's say, to be able to actually help and have these cases that would otherwise go unnoticed. And I think a lot of respect is due, and I'm hoping that this will inspire other young women out there in the world to become that change, to be the one to take education more seriously and to educate themselves in order for them to help others. I suppose one thing that I can probably take from this whole experience of Kim's is she kind of just reminded me of like how and why I wanted to study law, because my whole concept was I wanted to help other people, and somewhere in between while studying law, I think it kind of, your initial inspiration gets lost, or you forget. It's not that you forget, but it kind of gets wishy-washed into the books and the studying and the exams and all the other stress. And I think this will help. I'm hoping it will help inspire other law students out there, or other people who are focusing on their law career, to actually focus and remember why they began this journey. So Kim, thank you for that, and thank you guys for watching.